Good morning and welcome back to the Coin Kings channel. I am your host, Down to Crypto TA, Bitcoin with the up, down, up, down. We're going to see what happens today. I tell you, I'm so happy that traditional markets are open again once are back and we can get some real, some real direction here. We're still basically in the same space that we were all weekend long. Really, we are. Getting back close to this golden pocket, and then, of course, 786, just basically everything that we covered yesterday is just what I would stick with today. Maybe we start to hold through here for one more little leg up, something like that, or maybe we come down here into the, 786. Um, 4 hours still trying to hash things out right now, I can tell you that much. Um, so Not really a lot happening. Not really a lot happening. Yesterday, we got our push up here into this high here. Oops, sorry, did that all wrong. It goes like this. Yep, there we go. So we got our push up into what was a rising formation in here at the end of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, or whatever it was. I have no idea. Like, it is anybody trying to do Elliott wave analysis in that environment that we had over the weekend. Bless you, bless you. I gave up on that, but bless you. So you coulda looked at that also. We had this point right here. But anyway, it was a good place to take a short from. I did not take that short yesterday. I said I was going to take the short once we came up here, but I ended up not taking it, and I didn't end up shorting Bitcoin until here. So I shorted this point right here. Yesterday, I closed it out. No, not there. I shorted here. I shorted here, and when we drop back down here to, the main trend line that we lost earlier, we tried to come back up, got rejected a little bit, started to chop up. Yeah, so I shorted here. I closed it out once we did this right here. Just in time for this spike back up, and I was sleepy, and I said, "Forget about it." I just let the market roll on over, so that's where I'm at right now. We got a little falling channel in here. Don't forget that we do have the larger channel and the ideas that could play off of the larger channel. Now, I've seen some people, you can see how we came back up and rejected from that trend line again, so another great short right there. I've seen some people draw this out a little different. I've seen some people doing this right here, doing it like that, which is also a common way of doing it. Sometimes you have to omit, like, larger wicks in the pattern, so it is legit to look at it that way. You also have the, value area low down here. What's another stop out right here at the point of control yesterday, basically. That's what we got there. Um, but really, there is nothing new here, honestly. Like I said the other day, if there's something for me to look at, it's possibly, maybe taking the liquidity from that low, which would imply maybe, maybe this one right here, field retracement, this 1-1 right here, or this fallen channel that we had right here, maybe a 1-to-1 of that. So you can either draw use your fib retracement tool on that, or look at it like that. But that's what I'm looking at here. So watch out for that 63,829. You can bind that chart anyway. You use something different and expect something different. But this is basically it right here. So 1-to-1 there, just taking the liquidity from there. Not really taking the liquidity from here is what I'm thinking. But if we do take the liquidity from here, then I'd be looking for a back test of that channel, uh, which, as I stated, to you here. It rose up just a little bit, so, well, the last drop did. It didn't exactly touch the bottom side of the channel in here, but you can see right here, 1, 2, and then right there, just kinda front ran the bottom side of that channel a little bit. So, I would if this liquidity gets taken, that's what I'd be looking for, somewhere right around this line right here to the bottom side of the channel, and I'd be looking for a break to the upside. I still think we can get to about 80 something thousand dollars. Uh, it's a lot of things that actually pumped, above this peak right here, and we didn't get that, and I just see us getting that move back up. Sort of a correction that hasn't taken place yet, a larger correction than what we got when we moved it here. So that's what I'm anticipating, yeah. To me, this kinda looks like it was, um, sideways down. To me, on this daily time frame, it looks like it was 5 down. This being 4, this being 5 right here. Uh, maybe it's another 4 or 5, and then we get that bounce up, but again, I'm sticking to my idea. I'm just gonna stick to it. Just gonna stick to it. Oh, yeah, you can also just go with use that, um, golden pocket retracement, as well. Like I said, this area right here, we have not we're still coiling. We're still coiling and we still, these candles are still within this inside bar. Sometimes you will take out, the inside bar that's here, which is why I'm identifying that we could take out that bar. Sometimes you will take a liquidity off of this inside bar, and we'll really have more to what our pattern is. Well, I say yeah, we'll have more to what the pattern is on the inside here. Actually, let me try daily. Yeah, it's underdeveloped right now. Yes, it's really underdeveloped right now, whatever's happening here. So that's what we'll be on the lookout for today. That. That's nothing. That's nothing. Just a little sideways price action until market opens. Ethereum. Um, yesterday we were talking about Ethereum and basically, um, the underperformance of it. We'd already seen that you know, Ethereum was probably like one of the first clues in here. Oh, hold on, let me turn this magnet on here. Looking at the fact that Ethereum had already broken down and was back testing the trend line right here and rejection. Rejection. So we saw that earlier on Ethereum, which is still basically within this zone right here of 2066 to 1794 right now. Also talked about that rejection back here, back last week, that rejection right here, back around that 2147 there. So we know next with Ethereum, as Ethereum is falling within here as well. If we take out this load, I'm just looking at VWAP, so nothing in here has changed for me. VWAP would be what we would go to. If we break to the upside, I'd be looking for us to get back to this zone in here, maybe even back test the golden pocket we have to break down from. That's what I'll be looking for. But, um, shot that I really don't see. No, don't like it. I don't know if there's anything I can make of this. That's another bear flag. Yeah, basically that's what that looks like. It looks like it's another bear flag. Let me fix this a little bit. Yeah, that's what we got. That's what we got. Let's do drop down here. If I like to, yeah, I mean, we'd be in the same space, to be honest. We'll be in the same space. And then, of course, it has the same little descending channel, which you tend to get a breakup. Doesn't tell you imply how much we break up with that. We would be expecting the price to break up. And that's basically how we look at that. I just have to be a little funny about this line. Just a little. Trying to think if I should take that out and just do it like this instead of like this. Um, 1, 2. I think I'll leave it like that. Most touches anyway. Just like that. So we'll be looking for this to eventually get a break to the upside. 15-minute look like it's gonna give something anyway. The 4 hours mainly my concern right now. It's not necessarily the 15-minute. We're maxing out on the 15. Anything special in here? Nothing. Okay. Take a look at see what Salon is doing. No, it's a killer entry right there. I hate when price action breaks through a momentum line and then it starts riding on it. Like that is the most irritating thing ever. So good. I think I'll leave this other one in here though, just to see what we do. We come back up because it could still be a rejection point. No back test on. Let me move to another chart and see what we got. Surprisingly, Solana continues to perform better. So if it takes out this low, then it definitely flips the structure through here. This still has a chance to turn back up and continue to move to the upside. It still has a chance before we claim this as a lower high. It's not really a lower high yet until it takes out this low. Then it's a lower high. But on this, uh, see how similar it comes across. With Solana, what I look for right here is I think this liquidity just gets taken on the move down. I was gonna say a double bottom. It would just be the 3rd tap into this line right here. So, possible to look for, price to hit it, then, bounce away from it. It's possible to look for that right here. But if price action comes through and fill it, then I would more than likely look for that instead. Obviously, price action wouldn't get too far because they would come back to the liquidity through here. Um, it's not really clear here. That liquidity was taken there to the golden pocket. Mm, can hide these headphones. Mm, hidden channel. This is not a good channel anyway. And it started out that way. 1, 2, cats, 3. Might still be plausible. I'm just gonna redraw it though. These 2 would have came first, then I would have dropped it on here, then this would have happened. We held there. Usually I want to include, I want to include any low-hanging fruits in my channel, but in this case, I think that this is pretty good for long entries, um, since anytime it did break below it, a reclaim into it was a good, way of choosing to take an entry on it. You don't have to do it like that. If you prefer to capture all of the low-hanging fruits, then just do it. More so something like that. I don't like that because you miss everything else. I was gonna leave it like this. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it like this. Really, the top line is really more important anyway, but this can help with the entry. Otherwise, we got the momentum line that's here next for Solana. That's only if we lose the area through here, which didn't hold up as great as I thought that it would, but nonetheless, it did. It did enough, on the SFP down here on the, lower part of what we can already identify as a broadening formation. Look at it right. Broadening broadening formation, however you wanna do it. So broadening formation. Megaphone. Mega megaphone. Alton. And just like everything is, recoiling, so we're waiting for a big breakout to take place in here. Just haven't got there yet. Uh, and for anybody who don't know, there is still the possibility that Solana can hit between about 40 to 30, in my opinion. I was wondering, the first, if not the first, holler on that uh, months ago. So, it, shut up, girl. Okay. But yeah, Solana's really hard. Solana's a hard one. It really is. I have to consider the usage of Solana. I think we'll come down a little bit more through here, and then the 15-minute time frame is going to give. So I'm scaling into a little bit of a long position. Just want to put that out there. Just small, tiny entry, quarter position size, um, right in here. So if it looks fishy, instead of me adding to it, I just cut it, and it's a quarter position size, very small. It looks fishy. I'll cut it instead of adding to it. But I think that we're getting there on the 15. Like I said, I think the 15 is getting there. Um, USDT dominance is still holding up in this support area. Of course, it's just an inverse to Biddy. To Biddy, we talked about this. We talked about the fact that it's an ascending broadening formation, which is a bearish pattern, and high probability that this breaks down or at least comes back to the bottom side of the broadening formation. So that's why I have that hopium on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's in a descending channel, which tends to break to the upside, and USDT dominance is in an ascending broadening, which is bearish, and it tends to break down. So that's where that hopium is coming from. Even though this pattern at the bottom of Bitcoin, inverse to Bitcoin, it's this pattern right here. Tends to be a bearish pattern since it's developed off of the lows through here. It's got a different bias on it right now. I mean, you're looking at this right here, you're thinking, bam, come all the way back up here, right? Yeah. In other words, come all the way back down to here. That's how this goes. Tap, tap, and get back to here. That's what that is. Just like if I'm looking at Biddy, and I see this, even though this tends to be bearish, and there's really no perfect way of drawing this, to be honest with you. Like that right now, it's so underdeveloped right now. I really, yeah, I really don't have a base case for it, which is why I've avoided drawing it into a pattern itself, this little part right here. But if you're looking at it, like that, and you see it like this, what are you thinking? You're thinking it's gonna do this number, right? You're thinking it's gonna it's gonna do don't do me like you're thinking it's gonna do this right here. That's what you're thinking. That's my thought. That's my thought. This is gonna come back into here. Bullish. Bullish. Worst case. take this liquidity right here or come back up here first and then do that. So, some sort of a, I'm gonna say a double bottom or something like that, possible, something like that, then do that. Then later on at some point, come back down or something like that. But yeah, it's bullish. I'm gonna look at gold. The gold still hasn't really done too much from what it was doing the last time we looked at it. Bitcoin looks like gold. It's the same pattern. And you can see it. Same situation. Except when gold came back up, it tapped the trend line just like Ethereum, it got rejected from it. Looking at this, when I was reviewing this, I said, "Hey, gold is infamous for when it breaks one of these like this, just climbing up a wall of weary, just climbing that wall." At that time, it actually didn't climb it too much, and it rejected from it. It's still within, this P-shaped profile, which you just tend to reject every time up here. That's what a P-shaped profile is like. Not enough joint, that's just a P-shaped profile. Just look for it to continue to reject the downside. Mhm. Oh, you know what? Let me see. Weird, 'cause I'm missing a lot of stuff here. Go ahead and knock this out. That's very important. Yeah. Um, That's really good. Almost hit perfect. I might have been looking at it wrong. Starters. This would still only put it back like if it breaks down below here, just back into here and to just continue this stall out on price action for whatever reason, stalling out. This can still be relevant. I'm gonna push it into this though. Actually, I prefer basically this. There's something here. This almost looks impossible. Look at the spread. Doesn't look possible. I'm still coasting on this. Shit. See if this is useful. It's not. And give me a second. Let me push that and see if there's anything else. Because it just looks useful. And that gave me some hope right there. Just gonna double check and see if this is the same. Try one more thing. Just go through these. Yeah, I don't know. Gold just looks like it's far from going anywhere right now. To be honest with you, gold can probably range around in this area right here forever. It ranged over here for how long? It's 119 days, 17 bars, 17 weeks straight, right there. It may absolutely do nothing in here. They have people sitting on their hands waiting for this breakdown to take place in here. It's the most agonizing position to be in right here. Still moving, like, still holding, in the pocket, which is bullish despite the wick right here. I don't like this at all. Uh, Extremely overextended. That's why we're getting this X. Across all things, extremely overextended when it did that. We knew that, but still, it's still in between. It's still in the pocket. It's still in the pocket. And from a weekly stance, it's still bullish until it breaks down from here. Once it breaks down from here, um, this is a natural place of return for me personally, is to come back into here. So, mm, 39, 4, something like that, 4 to 39. It just depends on how long it takes. If it takes this long, just going sideways like there, to me, the spread in here is spectacular. You can just stay here. It can just stay there. Just stay there and do nothing for a long time. I'm still holding my long on gold on this big drop right here. Um, Looks like I'll just be stuck in it. See, oh, perfect. Uh-huh. See, think there's anything right there. Hold on. That drop. Okay. Doing that. Yes. Chip. Okay. So I think that was, so I just dropped that. Let me see if this is lower or higher. I think right in here it's obvious that it's still within this pattern formation. So the one that I had prior is still useful because you can see price action come back and chop that trend line and didn't manage to break through it. Um, Maybe on a pushback down, people don't get any more than this right here. Possible, possible. You just stay sideways between that high and somewhere down through here for a relative period of time. But at the end of the day, I do think the price action at some point it's going to get somewhere back down here around 4 to 39, something like that. I think this was a 4 or 5. This gap, I'm just going to delete that. Not really see anything else in here. It makes sense. Just the range until it breaks that range. Silver, I'd already decided on the bear flag breakdown on silver. I don't know why the stuff isn't showing up in here though. For silver. This is correct. 10.4. This is the one I was using, I think. Four. Okay. Hold on. Something's off. 15. This is ranging, but I'm still leaning towards the 30 something dollar return for silver. I mean, you can look at this as a range if you choose to. I just, eh, no, that's doing nothing for me. Mm, it's doing nothing for me. I got the zones on here for it though. Um, I'm just waiting on this to fulfill, to be honest with you. I'm not trading anything in silver right now. Um, don't feel any particular way about it. I just don't see anything in here. There's no structure. Ever since the bear flag, there's really been no structure for it. There's no structure in here, just the horizontal support resistance areas through here. So um, this is the support level that it's in. If anything, maybe we look for a pushback into the trend line right here. Um, possible that silver can invalidate um, the bear flag formation, and if it does, and I'd be looking forward to return into the golden pocket or the 786, more likely to in between or something like that, or value gaps through here. Um, I really don't see any structure. The only thing there is really to wrap this around. We would have been wrong right here. This was already outside of the bands, but to wrap it around the bands is about it. Since all of this is still within the band, I mean, it doesn't really say anything here. Let me see right here. Yeah, there. Possible that price comes back up. Um, if it does that, then it might be looking to shift and then go into this golden pocket. But I think that that's about the only thing I can say here on silver. Very possible. It looks like it's going to get ready to chop that anyway. Push back up into this trend line right here. That would alleviate any bear dips that was sitting in prior because you can see the bear dip right here. And then maybe get into the golden pocket, which would invalidate the bear flag, like I said. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it looks like it could do that. I just hate this pattern being at the low, but it looks like it could do that, especially the more starts squeezing there, which makes me want to look back at this and say and see. Yeah, yeah. So we've still been trading. Like we already seen that we were trading inside of the P shape zone here, the low of the volume area range, but we're also maintaining this cloud in here. When we come up, we hit the top, come down below that too. And it's not moving, it's just flat. It's just flat. So it doesn't indicate that it's bearish at any point in here right now. And then it just could continue to range through here. It really hasn't tapped back into the golden pocket either. So come back up here, tap on this ascending trend line again with the golden pocket, look for a rejection there and just price action to continue to range, possibly like within these two zones through here. Maybe you could change this one right here. But this is how it was. Maybe you can change this one here and include this wick now, which is just essentially this block. That will be this block between this resistance and this support is all you get for a while. It's an agonizing trade to be in um, for anybody who's trying to short it anyway. Yeah, it's been longable from down here too. I'll just be looking for it to come back up here, at least until it changes the structure through here. Um, if you're not getting bear divs, not getting bear divs, not from what I can tell anyway, except for except for right here, except for right there. There's the bear div here. So on this next move up, it could invalidate bear div, maybe do another little rejection because it's at resistance. Not as huge as it is in here, maybe not as huge as it is in here. It probably doesn't come back to the value area low in here, and it holds, and then it pushes up a little bit higher. Uh, I would long this if I wasn't already in the long. But I don't need to open a new long trade or add to the one that I have. Anyway, Bitcoin is breaking the descending triangle right now. I don't think this comes back down and invalidates this low right now. Yeah, I just be looking for it to get in here. And then this time it might actually break back through this trend line and come up. This is copper. Was looking for a breakdown on copper, which hasn't happened yet. It is in the ascending broadening formation. You can see right here, 1, 2, reject 3. Looking for it to at least come back down here again. It's already done like a 1, 2, and say 3 right here. You can say that. It wasn't a full tap, but if you get it back down here, maybe it bounces from here instead of breaking down. If it, I mean, maybe you can get it back to here. If it doesn't come back to here and it flips back above this high here, then the momentum is shifting higher. Right now, I can't really tell if momentum is going higher or not. I can put this in here, but, see that it's holding that, but that's pretty much the last time we looked at it. I already tapped into that. But this is a bearish formation, um, which is why I put the measured move in here on it, which it hasn't broken down to do any of this just yet. I don't know. I just view this as a risky loan, which might be why it's longable. I don't know. Um, might be why it's longable. You saw this worth the risk. Um, if you believe that it will hold here again, just from where it is, take the long and look for price to take out this liquidity across here. We got semi-equal highs through here. So it gets into the golden pocket or maybe it does like in S&P or something like that. Or it just sort of swing fails or something like that. Um, Still putting in the higher low right in here. Even right here, it's a higher low. Bring this in instead of using this low. Instead, if I try this one. I mean, your risk is your risk. It's just an idea. Since it has been holding there as support. But at the end of the day, the formation is a bearish formation. see Bitcoin trying over here. I'm just trying to fix some things on the chart. Nobody interested in no Luxo. Coin can't tell me to chart Luxo. No hate to the Luxo community whatsoever. I'm just not charting no Luxo. Do I highlight that anywhere? Not there. What's for that resistance? We get past here, we're more likely to get back here towards that 69,000. This hasn't mattered too much, so I don't want to focus on that. But yeah, we're getting past here, we're more than likely going to get back into here, at least, maybe even just a wick outside of it again. Just for anybody who may need that sort of reference, let's just put a fixed volume range on it. I can already identify what I like about it, but wrong thing. I think you can tell what price action has rejected the most. It's been right there. And then that's the value area low according to this, but my preference. And I really don't see any relevance to this right here. That's my thoughts. To get past this resistance right here, then it's likely to get up to here. Um, I don't really see anything that makes me have faith in this point of control. What's supposed to be the point of control anyway. It just mean you doesn't have any respect for that. I don't like lines that get disrespected that much. It's disrespected like that, then it's not a good place to count on. I don't know if you saw what I saw. I just didn't see any core resistance at that point of control. I just didn't see it. I didn't see anything that, looked like it was rejecting there for it to be a point of control. It just didn't look like anything was rejecting there. It was like it was breaking through it. Like when you had this one moment right here, but everything else just, yeah, like clean candle push. Well, maybe this one right here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can use it. Mm, I'll pass. Mm, I shoulda added well, I mean, you can't say you shoulda added, like I said, I put a quarter position size on that long from there just in case. Sometimes you just take what you get. So, quarter position size, let's see if it gets into here. Just have to take that quarter position size profit and be happy. Let's say it gets either back to the top side of this channel or it breaks this channel, just pierces it like it did right there, maybe into here. Probably could move that. Let's see, BTC over here. I share 30. I forgot that I was looking at this yesterday. Bam, bam. Was looking at that yesterday, and we filled it in. How about pre-market data? I mean, right now, pre-market data suggests we go higher. Right now, based on IBIT ETF. That's what it suggests. We get magnetized around that 40. I mean, that's basically all we've been doing anyway. We talked about the fact they've kept it just kind of pinned between, what was it, 35 and, yeah, 35 and, you got 38 right there. And then 40 right here where I have the alerts set up. It suggests that we go higher. It suggests we're coming back into this area that, yeah, this might be a sell wall. And that's pre-market data. It can change quickly once market opens, but pre-market, that's what it implies. Mm. Building a lot of open interest around $41 too. Go ahead and VIX is, VIX is at a zone that I deem as resistance. And, um, well, Bitcoin is trying to cross above this level with closures. Mm, 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 mm. Really just need for it to hold between this sandwich. If we can do that, maybe even drop it like that. Yeah, it's like 67.9. Undo. Just need for it to hold that. If it pushes down any further, yeah, that's what you want to see it hold. Then try that again. But like I said, pre-market data suggests that we go up today. Let's say the VIX. Let me show you the VIX chart. So we're at a resistance zone in here for the VIX. So you can see this trend line down through here. where the VIX has bounced from multiple times. It's on a 1-hour chart right now, but you can see that level through here where VIX comes into it, it bounces away. VIX is known to be rejected, or many times it has been rejected within here. Now, this is a, it's a percent width in here, so a lot can happen in there. But you can see through here um, how VIX handles disarmament. Not that it can't get above it, it can clearly get above it, but it is a good resistance zone in here for VIX. So hopefully this holds up. Rest of the market sees a little bit of pumpy action today, and that would include Bitcoin. That would include Bitcoin on a pump today, despite what's happening pre-market. Let me just change this. A bit risy also in here. Not really like that. Doing it from that, but yeah, it's a little ugly. Heck no, I don't like that. So I just dropped that. But look for something to break down below this trend line. But it's at a resistance area. I'm going to look for it to act as resistance again. Then we see a little pumpy action out of the stock market today. Probably, I guess if I was going to draw a line at the top, I should probably do it like this instead. Yeah, like this instead. But that's the VIX right now. Yeah, so definitely want to see this holding as resistance in here. Otherwise, we all get wrecked today. All right, Bitcoin. Interesting spot. Why is that so difficult? Mm, it's an interesting spot. It's a little bit below that, but it's an interesting spot. Actually like that. Delete that. Diddy. Volume is probably garbage, to be honest. Probably is, but Bitcoin is not playing around. Bitcoin, like, you wanna go long? You wanna add to this position? I'm gonna make it so you can add to it. Not from in here, I won't. But I like that, so I'll see how that handles it. Now it's trying to toy with me. Mm, it's doing it way too slow, though. Way too slow. Mm, yeah, that reaction is slow. Mm, yes, so I didn't really see I didn't see anything else in here. I hate to move the chart around on y'all, use another chart. Try to see if I spot anything else in here. There's only that same low that we hit right here, and that's a little too close for comfort, which would just imply that maybe they come take that. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's only what I looked at yesterday with you, which was yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. It was just going way too slow, and the only thing that was left was the liquidity that's down here. It's like this low right through here. You can see how it double tapped right here, right here, and right here. Which they may just want to take that instead. 'Cause that was the closest thing I could see next. What's that? See, it's moving slow around this area too. Yeah, this must feel like a golden pocket or something. Imma check that, but it's already tapped it once already. This is that low. It's a low price action. Yeah, I just think I can forget about this as an idea. Um, yeah, forget about that. Let's see if this was a golden pocket. Oh, it's a 786. It's a better reaction than what we got right here, but I don't think that they leave this liquidity behind right here. I think they take it. There's a way better reaction. I don't trust it. Huh. Nah, that just seems too easy. This feels like a game. It's not because 'cause you're playing with money. I mean, well, yeah, you can play games with money, but yeah, that's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm playing some sort of a game right now, and I haven't played games in forever. It was a sweet little reaction right there, though. I for sure thought, "No, no." I still don't trust it, but I hope it goes from there. I don't think that they leave this liquidity sitting in here. Look at that. Tap, 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 tap. Mm. The other place we've been obvious at, though, and maybe market opens and then they decide they wanna come in here and take this liquidity in here. The other place that we've been I'm looking at the 1-hour time frame. It looks like it's right here around the top side. I mean, this is the channel right here anyway. So, I mean, the time is dependent on time too, how we do if we come down to line, but it's likely gonna be this top side of here. So when I'm looking at it from I hate to take you away from this chart, but it's good to, I don't know, I guess see how other people, like, determine levels too, maybe. That's a nice little, push there, Biddy. Nice little push there, Biddy. Biddy. Um, it's here on this 1 hour. I was looking at this through here. I was leaning towards this. I'm not leaning towards it now. I'm looking at it again. Yeah, it is the 786 though. It is the 786. I was admiring this through here. Not the cleanest. The cleanest is probably more of this right here. This was like a slightly tad bit lower. I know we was looking at this right here, which might still be something. I'm gonna delete that right now. Just looking at this right here. That beautiful 66 right there. And I was flirting with this over here, right in here. I mean, this is just the golden pocket. I mean, not the golden pocket, but the 786 right here. Okay. And then, I mean, if I were to drop the 786 out of the picture, I mean, it still come close to this. So I wouldn't be looking for, I guess I would go off. Just pretend this is our 786 going forward. Same thing. I guess it just depends on whose chart you're looking at. And then I admired kind of nothing through there. Not necessarily golden pocket either. It's something right in here though. I think we'll break the golden pocket if it came down anyway. I think we come in here if we did, whatever reason. I don't really like this. It's psychological zone though. I like all of this area right here. A small area beneath the golden pocket though. I have a perfect thesis for it. I like this area below it. That's that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Um, but I like it better than the golden pocket. It is a psychological level. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, that was what was that before? sure that was, um yeah, if we take liquidity off of this wick right here, then maybe we could do something like that or maybe even do I don't know. Played a little bounce yesterday though. Um, I think at that time that was your value area low that it tapped. If you're using the BRBP instead, because I remember it was lower than this. So that might have been your fair value. I mean your value area low, your L right there, that go round. Might just stay here till market opens. Let me see if there's any data for today. So CAD had its CPI today. And the only thing that we have, which is medium impact, is going to be Empire State, Empire State Manufacturing Index, however you like to say it. Uh, Low impact tentative Cleveland Fed inflation expectations. New Zealand's doing some rate stuff today. We don't really have anything in the US. Not today. Today might be our false move day, maybe, since we were closed yesterday. FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow at 2 p.m. We have that. Um, Tomorrow. Unemployment claims on Thursday. And core PCE price index on Friday. Flash manufacturing also on Friday. So end of the week. Really, we don't have much to consider this week that might really be impactful outside of general news. We had a momentum break on the 15 minutes time frame, whether it gives or not. I mean, like, we're still, like, kinda battling. I mean, um, my goal is, um, flat. Ethereum is still holding up outside of the channel formation right now. I'm not gonna try to map out any levels for Ethereum, but it is still holding up outside of this formation in here at the moment. Once again, I deem this as a bearish formation, but sometimes they break to the upside. It's just it looks bearish. But breaks to the upside, it'd be bullish. If not, I'd be looking for price action to either come back and respect it or lose that low. Maybe consider a short if you get to it. Um, Structure will matter too. So if you're coming up and your structure starts to look bearish, right now the structure looks decent in here. These two candles right here look decent so far. We really don't have enough evidence, but they're vertical. So price action is going vertical like that, then you're looking for a strong reaction. Otherwise, you're looking for price action to start to slant like it did to here. Then you'll have some structure. So Bitcoin is holding that little bit as well. Give a time to fix something in here. It's looking good so far. It's extended a little bit. I just forewarn you. It is extended a little bit right there. There she was a good old fit. 786. Until it's extended right here. And that's looks like the first attempt at trying to like push out these bands, but it didn't work. Like right there. It could do like it did every other time, and here we looked at it and it looked like it wanted to get an expansion. It failed the first attempt, and then it comes back a little bit, and then the next time it actually does. See that, that drive out, but yeah, that's extended. That's a little extended, a little bit, a little extended right there. Little bear div in there too. Little bear div. As far as liquidation goes, liquidity is around 66. Uh, 7, 66,000 is like the next major area of liquidity. 66.7, 66.738. If it doesn't hold here this time and it comes back down here, they're gonna take that liquidity. Might even expand to the downside, to be honest, right about now. Prices. Solana's doing nothing today. Mm, at least not in the moment. Gold's not doing anything right now either. Market's just boring. It's all get out. Just boring. While I'm on here, I can take a look at and see how XRP is doing in here. XRP on a 4-hour. I know all of this is wrong. I haven't checked up on it really like that in a minute. Um, yeah, we all doing back here some days. Really previously low right here. Again, wick. speaking of which, how what do they call XRP? ETF. It was it's evolved. Let me see the CME gap. We feel as long they have for it. I don't know. I guess it's a little premature to look at it. Could probably work with that. Maybe come back into take the liquidity down here. Maybe get a drop into this, if we can get this into some sort of a channel right here, instead of coming all the way back down here to this 118 for XRP. It has been very, pretty much respectful of the zones that we have to here for the weekly levels in here. So, yeah, maybe we'll get something like that today on XRP. And just maybe it can hold the range in here or something. I mean, if not, then I would just look back in here. BNB, nothing's changed. This has been kind of respectful. It definitely looks a lot different than Bitcoin. I don't really see a reason to draw any connection points through here. For me, it's just this top. So you break it, not when it hasn't actually tapped into here. I look for it to tap into here. Um, it's a little close. Maybe it breaks it. If it does break that, weekly level, it does. I will look for price actions coming to the 548 right here, and I look for a bounce away in there. Otherwise, I always look to the area below. So if it's not somewhere close, if it deviates too far from the 548, then I would look for it to come down to the 498. Otherwise, take liquidity. If we break this line right here, we're looking for the liquidity. Um, I mean, this area right here to be tapped versus a liquidity grab and bounce off of here. Maybe, maybe. I think it's like that would be like the third. Um, yeah, this one. So maybe like the third. Third. That's the last one in here, though. I can tell you that. So after that, we just start using the horizontal zones through there. lower in here. Then at one point I took this, but I got the breakdown from XRP just I mean, not XRP, but data just continues to I mean, that was yeah, the structure isn't, convincing. You can just go off of a line chart instead of using the wick. This is a daily. I'm gonna be on a daily. Again, I don't really subscribe to cutting through, wicks, but in this case, um, let me trust that. Yeah, not really. We don't have, a lot to go on over here in this area. I just don't like ADA, right about now. He lost the most critical area that was, we really wanted to see it hold that support, which just made it absolutely terrible to hold on to. But if you believe in it, there you go. I still lean heavily towards the possibility that ADA could could drop down to there. I'm gonna add some extensions on it. One of these didn't go through. Let's see what that was. Mm, I don't really use that. Yep. Supposed to be corrective, but, it looks like it's starting to break down. If this was 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, then, this is no longer looking really looking corrective. I know I looked at like a, just looking at this, like maybe, mm, yeah, just looking at this. I don't know about this. I mean, if it's just a liquidity grab from here, then this might still work out. Did break up through here, then it broke down. Mm, I guess you wouldn't want what I was looking at on the other one to be true. If this is the corrective formation after a 5-wave move up. It's a triangle. I don't know. It may not be a triangle. Actually, let me see if I just take this one. Let's see what that is right here. Well, I guess this subscribes to the triangle idea. Ah, this does. You either take the long from the low or you get faked out off of this high. That's what that suggests. If you think it's going to continue, I would be careful with that. Oh, this was looking pretty good the other day. like you're already breaking out again. It's doing its own thing. No, no. Maybe you can look for something between these 3 points right here. That's a rejection point. Otherwise, it continues into the abyss. Nah, I'm not gonna take it there. Might just stay in the zone right here. I will look for something, some sort of a reaction around one of these 3 levels right here, though. I just want to see what that was right here. Maybe that's 786. Just like the other one stopped out at the 786. My bad. It's a good looking chart though. It's definitely doing what Bitcoin did not manage to do. Oh, let me just check Bollinger and see. Make sure this is confirming an expansion. Not really. It is a squeeze though. So make sure you don't SFP that high, because that's what the top side of the band is. So you don't want to SFP if this is really trying to expand. Just look out for the possibility that it could. I don't think we have to say anything about this chart. Looks like Bitcoin, for the most part, Bitcoin's still trying, still not getting that expansion, but still trying. So you're just pushing into the standard deviation 2 on Bitcoin right now. You're not really getting the follow through. As we wait for these next 30 minutes for market to open, and then I'm going to desist on this channel. My Achilles heel right here. I guess if you think of this as an ascending, it's not the most glamorous, but if you did it, it's not the most glamorous, so this isn't, um, any sort of barely got the closure above this wick over here. Uh, I don't know how I don't know if I would it already broke down below our main supports, support level through here. We've already lost that. If anything, trying to get back inside of it. I probably wouldn't touch it again until it does manage to get back inside. But if you feel strong on this, it is coiling on the weekly time frame. So these 2 bars that are inside of it right now, and, yeah, that could be an ascending triangle, as long as it's not taking out the center low right here. Demon is good, so long as it's not taking out this low right here. And you will be looking for a break to the upside. It did its job, like over here. Yeah, I don't like it. Ooh, this. For some reason, this has not done well with inside ranges. It broke this one to the downside. Hasn't deviated too far from it since it got the breakdown, but it broke that one to the downside. You then get this one right here, and what does it do? It breaks to the downside. Now this one did just kinda I don't like when I see a closure, but it reclaimed back in and got a push up, but still, doesn't do well with them. I was looking at I just saw another one in here. Yeah, I saw this one right here. It does sweep it and then comes back up, but then later on it breaks it to the downside, then it breaks this one over here. It just doesn't it seems to break to the downside every time. Well, that one wasn't in there long enough, so that doesn't count. This one, same thing right here. This one, jeez. But maybe in the end, that's what you get if you maybe in the end, that's what you get. A reclaim. You want the reclaim. You want the reclaim. You get the reclaim, I would use this as my stop. Otherwise, if if you like it, then use this as your stop, but, it's terrible. I'm still holding my, holding what I have on it. It's gonna be a challenge. Bitcoin still holding for now. Again, no relevant news today. Just don't want to lose this low. Obviously, we dropped below our accumulation zone, which is fine. I think my last buy order, I think this might have been my last buy order. I have to check back on the exchange. It wasn't that one. I think it was this one though. As I said, anything outside the accumulation zone, where I stop. If you got a chance to buy below this, I think you're an absolute genius. But if everything is breaking this bear market low, then Bitcoin breaks it too, more than likely. Solana lost it. Um, quite a few of them lost it. This was our last little level. I have to look at what else is below here, but I'm not buying any more uh, outside of here because then I just be catching a falling knife. I was looking for it to do what it does every time, and while not enough evidence, I think it has a lot more than Solana had. This is the level of levels, if not this one right here, but that's just a little bit too much. So yeah. Now we have to, hope, look for a probability that price action will come back up here. It might even reject there. We range around a little while, something like that. But it doesn't look too good right now, especially having taken out that low over there. I'm gonna go back to Bitcoin. I mean, Actually, I'm just gonna put a channel on this instead. If I need to move something, I can. It's probably 5 waves, 5 waves down. It probably was. 5 waves can get trapped in the channel. And this ball would be bigger than Bitcoins. Jeez. Hold on. Let me redo this on this time frame. I don't select that. Didn't quite tap that. Mm, leave it like it is though. Let me see if there's any reason I could do that. A little better. Mm, just have to wait and see what happens with it. 15-minute chart. Still not closing above that level. In 20 minutes now till market opens. Let me check on something else that's very important right now. I'm just gonna check on these two because I know the stock market isn't. The stock market is just reopened today, and that's just gonna be the Microsoft and then the Amazon. So I'm just gonna put this on the daily time frame so I can take a look at those two. start out here with Microsoft. Let's see how we're doing right now. Okay, so put it on 24 hour. Let's keep it clear. Right. Everything is starting to look like this. You notice that? Everything has this starting pattern right here of probably putting in a bear pennant at the low down here. Everything has that. I mean, again, what I would say to you is be mindful of, price action potentially losing the area in here. Um, Stop loss below this. It's my pocket for the 786, but that's a 0.816 right here. Um, and then, I have an extended move down here. I know that looks like a lot. It depends on what's about to happen in this market. It's a little scary, a little scary. I don't care if you got money or not, it's a little scary. But right now, we're still holding up with the long setup, even months in advance, mind you. Mind you, giving months in advance. And we here now. Same thing is going to go with Amazon. No, Amazon, I want to do Google. I think my original in here was for 189. I'm kind of reworking my idea a little bit in here on um, on Amazon. We'll see um, what we're looking like in a little while. We have the golden pocket now. Could be potentially putting in a double bottoms right there. But everything again looks the same right through here, like it's gonna create some sort of a pennant um, pattern or something like that. And if it does, then it probably would get into here anyway, which is the next momentum zone that's down through here. Um, but we'll see. But see, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm not. I don't have a reason to rush into buying any Amazon right now. That's still close to the highs. I'm looking more towards the bottom side of, you know, this. It's pretty clear. Pretty clear. I'll just wait to see. The overshoot right there. But I'll wait to see. We come down here again. And if it breaks that, then have to consider something lower. I think one of the I don't have it on in here. Maybe I have it in here. Let me make sure before I start drawing some new ones. Doesn't seem that I do. Let's take a look at that. So you're there on what was another common. I mean, might it might. I just think it's tapped it a few too many times in my opinion, but it might. If you take it, I would put a stop below VWAP. Otherwise, I think it comes back into here. So something like that. And connect the dots, and that'll be your that'll be your zone. I think my original was for the 189 though. I'm gonna hold out and see if we get this. We get it. We get it. We don't. I won't be in Amazon. And since I just peeked at it, Google. I don't know why. Um, I don't know if that was just intentional or what. Because I can see it right here with this. I don't know if I intentionally decided not to. I'm gonna need you to be there. I got the horizontal levels in here too that have worked. The last time I checked, I didn't see a reason that I needed to change these levels through here. They were still being respected there, respected there. So maybe if it does not bounce from here, I would look for um, that 288.19 there. Personally, I like 262. If I can get something down in here around this gap, that is what I like. So for Google, if it does, then that's something I'll be looking at right here around this 262. This is if you want to risk it for the biscuit right here. You want to take a chance there, take the chance there. I don't think we've tapped that enough times to really not be worth something. So yeah, that'd just be the third time it came into it. So maybe, or yeah, just maybe, and just stop loss below the low here, or see what I got in here. Let me see. It's going to 4 hours. It's on a 4 hour. You need to reclaim in here. Maybe a reclaim and back test would be a good idea right here before aping in on this. Let's see what 1 hour. Yeah, not a fan right now. I would choose to wait personally. Maybe a reclaim and back test and then consider taking an entry. I mean, good day, Janet, and just set a stop loss below the low there. 'See how much of a risk that would be. We long it from where it is right now. Oh, 2, 5 dollar move. Keep it small, and that would be okay. Don't do anything crazy though. I wouldn't. Let's see, we're rejecting on Bitcoin. That's if the VIX, um, if the VIX stays on this trajectory of coming down too. So, um, yeah, just have to risk it for the biscuit right here. Risk it for the biscuit right here, assuming that we're holding the support in here. We haven't deviated too far away. Assuming we're holding that, I wouldn't look any more than that. To be honest, but uh, it's kind of like back into these lows. And yeah, something- yeah. I don't see a reason to really get into too many other ones in here because don't really know how the market is going to do today. So I'm gonna leave it with those. Leave it with those. This was my big concern since I know I'm in this one. Just checking back on this idea from here. So hopefully we'll get back up, get her done. As you can see in here, we did not break out of the gap that we were looking for price action to fill. Looks like rejection, top side of the gap, holding support the lower side of the gap. And then this, of course, is the channel, which I can always turn yellow, and blue. Let's put the yellow. All right, 5 minutes and then I'm out of here. I just want to say thank you to anyone who stopped by today to hang out with your girl down to Crypto TA. I do this Monday. I've been coming in on Wednesdays, and I did it this weekend as well. Just not as long as today, which I really feel like I'm going to start just doing 2 hours and getting out of here. Try to give it until market opens. I know the attention span of a lot of people is not as long as mine when it comes to the charts because I eat, sleep, and all the rest of that stuff with the charts. Really and truly. Um, always trying to figure something out. And I just like the psychology. I think my obsession is so unhealthy. But yeah, I'm gonna start cutting my stream time back. Maybe just coming in to do a second stream after market opens, something like that. Just give a pre-market update and then come back in and do a market update. I think I like that. So that's what I'll start doing from here on out. Then the videos will be shorter. Anybody wants to go back in and watch the video, you're not sitting through 4 hours of stream or 2.5. Well, actually, I started at 6. I think I started about 16 today. No. Yeah, we're range bound in between these 3 levels right here. You see us continuing to tap in here. So we're compressed in between these 3 levels right here. Every time we go up, we're trying to expand the bands. We're not managing to do that here. And so, again, if it comes back down here, just look at this liquidity in here to be taken. And you can use the golden pocket again if you choose to, or maybe look for an SFP of this level right here. I'm gonna see if we get a little closer down here towards the 786, something like that. That is where I'd be, uh, I mean we have to see, one of these kinda stellar candles like this right here, though, for that to happen. I don't think anything changed in here so far that suggests that market doesn't see a pump to the upside. Last time I checked it looked like it was still good there with that information. Market opens, it can change, and it can change swiftly, but right now that seems like what it is. All right, 2 minutes till market opens here. Doo-doo-doo. Maybe you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this first chart here into spot rolling over a little bit right now. But I would say um, even if it does gap down, VIX is still at resistance, and I would expect for price to reclaim. That's it. Take the liquidity, whatever it wants to do with that, then price reclaims. I'm watching this little gap through here. And I know I shared about this broadening through here, or megaphone. Candles. But I shared that with you, and I did an extension here the last time. I did an extension there, and then I did that to show you the megaphone. All right. So, like at the end of the day, it goes up, but that's just because VIX is at resistance. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, still horse playing around the same area. Maybe it does get that expansion in here. I didn't see any data change in here on that. Let me just put this right here right now. Yeah, That information still looks solid. Accumulation. So with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you. Love you, and bye.